Go, go, go. Just check your side.
If you are to confide, you're going to read Which one is we're all observer now.
Observer outside now. Close them.
Leave that corridor.
Observer outside canopy.
Officer, don't allow anyone to stay. I'm trying to order ahead. Don't want to stay. Clear that place for journalists.
They are pressing me.
Don't fall.
Hey, good. Hey. Call that guy. That guy, you're here. Are you the only one here?
Yeah,
he's in the queue. He's actually number 5 in the queue. Mama, sorry. Please don't go in again. I beg. Who is that? Who be this now? Who be this cameraman? Who be that cameraman? We go that side, go stay. Madam.
you can't stay outside, inside the line. Not if we are at the back of the line.
Huh?
Back of the line.
Yes.
Just lost my power bank.
You lost?
Yeah. No.
You don't have a pocket.
I have a pocket going to myself. Okay, sit there. Because power bank is serious.
Hey, madam, please stay well now. Madam, please.
These people are not supposed to be here now.
I don't know.
Is she a media person? She's not, Abby.
Okay, people, we're still there.
Se fotografa aí.
Alright, people, we did for the Ward 3 of EKITI, where the governor they come vote. As we talk to you now, the governor don't already arrive. We did for queue. They wait for him turn to follow vote. Him be number 3 for the queue now. After 1 or 2 people, he go enter. We don't be here this morning. They wait make he arrive. We go capture the time where he go vote and that moment. And now, plenty people still gather for here. We won't follow vote. As EKITI State people, they try vote for who will be the next governor. Governor Yoruba, the incumbent governor, and him be the candidate of the ruling party for here. Here, like his unit, and we notice plenty observers there for this ground, plenty security, EFCC people, and plenty other people gather here to observe how the thing they happen. The governor is ready for queue, so after the election turn, one will come in. For now, it's still stand for queue, and people waiting in front of them, they also go ahead to vote as their turn reach. He's still outside.
Everybody else is go outside. That's why I'm going to block everybody.
The person will stand in front of the governor and the wife. After the governor, you will see
I've arrived.
behind the governor's wife and the governor himself, and so them still there for queue. They wait for their turn to follow vote.
Hey!
ẹjọ àwọn èèyàn wọ́n dìbò bí ibi iná rẹ̀ títí ibi tó ń ta kọjá lọ títí ẹ̀jẹ̀ kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ kúrò ẹ kúrò ìjọ̀dọ̀ fún wọn níbí ẹ má fún ọ lẹ́sẹ̀ o ẹ má fún ọ lẹ́sẹ̀ ẹ fún ọ láyè.
Yes, now the wife of the governor, she is stepping now. Accreditation and voting.
Only you. You stay there. Only you stay there.
That's fine. That's perfect. What do you want to do is even those observers over there.
Go ahead and take
It's time for the governor to come to her accreditation and then to follow that.
on my phone? I don't.
It's not the moment then they accredit the governor and the wife ahead of them.
People get the governor.
They're still trying to confirm the name of the wife of the governor for the register. Make way there. This one, the wife of the governor, as they try to print. Sorry, sir. Can I stay with you, please? My wife of the governor will be this one. No come block anywhere. No come block anywhere. Oh, sorry, sir. I get it. That's the governor stepping out now.
Oh, man, be mommy.
No, inside.
Inside.
Baba, stay one place now. See what they do.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Well done. Voting still they go on wide and they try me to interview the governor after in casting vote with his wife. Plenty media houses they ground we want interview and I make Kasala be like say there. Every media house one.
Sorry, please, I don't need people. Enjoy our balagba. Pregnant
You look like my brother.
So happy. Don't worry. People listening to my call. Exercise their friendship because there's a link. I know what happens to them. Sorry. Did you check one with Rami? I'm checking adjusted. And I need to adjust it. But I need to also appeal to our people to be patient with INEC. With all processes, it can be glitches. INEC has assured me and I believe them that all those glitches will be understood. So I also appeal to our people.
Shift over there, so I will pick mic here.
When we say they stop, you don't take your shot. You know what you do? You don't get someone where they somehow. You don't go through it. When we say that.
Àmẹ́rin bá lókun àgọ́ lílé ẹ̀kọ́.
Okay, the governor don't cast the vote finish. You don't ready to go back. So let's clear. It's coming here. Let's clear here. Yeah. Oh yeah, one way here. Hey. Oh yeah.
Sorry. It's coming out.
Yeah, see it.
I have to feel better. Hey, Baba. The EKITI election had come with. It was looking as if by this time you see people just in trinkles strolling in. But it's exciting that more people. But you know, with the statistics we are reading out, EKITI is unique because everybody here is EKITI. It's either you hear Ishe EKITI or Ye EKITI. Everybody. So these are almost the same kind of people. And I think they are passionate about this election. I think they would disappoint a lot of naysayers. The way I look at it, they may disappoint a lot of people who think that they are not going to show up. But if this is a good indication of what you see, EKITI might just be a model for what a good election might be eventually.
But the statistics are... What do you think is good? What do you expect? What is your,
you are right with that statistic. Why we have increase in number of registered voter, it keep going up. And don't forget, just recently, this election, EKITI have crossed that mark of 1 million registered voter. Now going to this election, they have 1,059,000. Registered voter. But again, if you go back, like the data you just talked about, turnout has also been nosediving. Now, but however, it is too early. When you see the queue behind us this time, I mean, it's encouraging. But I also agree it is too early to actually say, the turnout is massive. But our expectation is that the turnout should also be increased. So, because if you also look at the governorship election in 2022, that was about 36% or thereabout. Then when we come to the general election, for the president, it later came down to around 24%. So what it means today is that we expect that these will go up. Looking at even the environment in terms of security, we don't actually see anything that could impede, the coming out of the people. So, but we expect that the turnout in this election should be encouraging.
Like
processing could definitely.
I need the something is not good. The beavers, I think, or what do you call it?
The beavers.
It's not working.
It's not working for you.
Yes, for other people. For other people, it's not working.
What? So what do you want from INEC now, sir?
To build another new beavers for us. That will work.
70 years. They are working there.
I wish you guys are on this side. Perhaps you can get a feeling of what is going on here in Ado-Ekiti. We are actually here at the St. Michael's School in Olushosun, in the mobile area of Ado-Ekiti. We are right in the center of the city, Ado-Ekiti. Don't forget that Ado-Ekiti has one of the largest registered voters, and it's got a very good percentage of collection of PVC, and this means something that a lot of activities that you will see in this election, most of it you will also find here in Ado-Ekiti. We are just behind us is polling unit 001 of the Ado-Ejibo RA. This is also a rack center for this polling area, and this is one of in this area we have 2 polling units, one just across me and one behind me. But let's take a look at what is happening, and I salute your guests who have been giving us perspective to what this election means, not only to the people of Ekiti State, but to Nigeria, for our electoral process, our electoral law, and our nation. I'm being joined by the lead partner at PACAC and also a member of the board of Yaga Africa, Chief Ezenwa Nwagu. Thank you so much, Ezenwa, for coming on channel.
We're back to this
absolutely
center again.
Yeah. You remember 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
Right here at this spot.
Yes, absolutely. And that's interesting. Things are picking up again.
Absolutely.
I'm sure very soon your cameras will start rolling.
Absolutely. And of course, on my right is Bukola Idowu, who is the Executive Director of Kimpark Development Initiative. Thanks so much, Bukola, for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here again, after 4 years.
4 years, absolutely. But gentlemen, let's look at the figures. What the numbers are telling us: 4.2 million people in Ekiti State. That's what the population figures are telling us. 16 local government areas, and we have 177 registration areas, 2,444 polling units, and PVC collection rate of 97.1, and we have 106 rack, of which this place is 1. But give me a sense of what you see generally, Ezenwa. Early starts, see people queuing up. It's not 8 a.m. yet.
It is interesting because it's going against the run of mill and the kind of perception that the Ekiti election had come with. It was looking as if by this time you see people just in trinkles strolling in. But it's exciting that more people. But you know, with the statistics we are reading out, Ekiti is unique because everybody here is Ekiti. It's either you hear Ishe Ekiti or Ye Ekiti. Everybody. So these are almost the same kind of people. And I think they are passionate about this election. I think they would disappoint a lot of naysayers. The way I look at it, they may disappoint a lot of people who think that they are not going to show up. But if this is a good indication of what you see, Ekiti might just be a model for what a good election might be eventually.
But the statistics have shown that there is a bad trend in voter turnout. From 2014 to 2018 was about over 50% voter turnout. In 2018, it went to about 47%. In 2022, it went down to about 37%. And in the last general election, it was even off. It was 20-something%, less than 30% voter turnout. But I don't easily get swayed by the number I see in a polling unit until the final figure comes up. But Bukola, from what you see, from the feel like you get as an observer, what do you think is good? What do you expect? What is your,
you are right with that statistic. Why we have increase in number of registered voter, it keep going up. And don't forget, just recently of this election, EKITI have crossed that mark of 1 million registered voter. Now going to this election, they have 1,059,000. Registered voter. But again, if you go back, like the data you just talked about, turnout has also been nosediving. Now, but however, it is too early. When you see the queue behind us this time, I mean, it's encouraging. But I also agree it is too early to actually say, the turnout is massive. But our expectation is that the turnout should also be increased. So, because if you also look at the governorship election in 2022, that was about 36% or thereabout. Then when we come to the general election, for the president, it later came down to around 24%. So what it means today is that we expect that these will go up. Looking at even the environment in terms of security, we don't actually see anything that could impede, the coming out of the people. So, but we expect that the turnout in this election should be encouraging, but it's too early to also say now that it's going to be massive.
Bukola, we can't be talking about massive, but if you remember, city centers come in trickles. But this morning, it does seem that there is some differentness in what we have seen. So that gives some optimism in terms of what we expect. But it's a sociological situation. We'll wait and see how it goes.
Right. And the interesting...
Because it's also city center. Yes, there are other local governments, 16 local governments.
Absolutely. Historically, this polling unit has recorded so many incidents, and this will be my fourth or so coverage in this very point, covering election right here from this point on election day. That means for almost 16 years, 4 elections back to back. But if you look at your clock, we're getting to the top of the hour, the very critical moment where the poll will be opening. And what we are going to do for you right here on Channels Television is to give you a very front seat in the activities that is happening right here. That is the hour and the moment when the election will begin and the polls will open, and you can see people right here behind me getting queued up. But the exercise begins actually from that point. You first and foremost go and check your name on the register. Once you check your name on the register, then you go there to go and find out what exactly it means for you. So you see people queuing up and checking their names on the register. You need to first confirm whether or not you are able to vote here. If your name is not on that register, it means that the beavers will not have your record. But ladies and gentlemen, with just few seconds to the opening of the ballot, this is like the ringing of the bell on the stock exchange. It means a lot to the people of EKITI. Now, the polls are opened. It's 8 o'clock. Maybe we can take you right into the moment where these will begin, when the polls the poll officials will begin to allow the voters to begin. Bukola, this is the moment we have been waiting for. 8 a.m. officially, by law, by INEC guidance, this is when the exercise should begin.
It was like a year ago, we started counting months. Now we are in the seconds, and not just in the seconds, we are in the moment. Yeah. And I think this is a good moment for the people of EKITI State to reinforce that for which they are known for. It's a state of, they call themselves a state of honor. And so it must be an honorable moment for them to show the world that they can be peaceful, that they can conduct themselves in that way that can signify that real maturity for our democracy has happened in EKITI. And we're excited about it. I am particularly excited about it because those 16 years you talked about, Shehu, those 16 clean years, we did it together in this very moment. Bukola, the poll is opening.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm actually looking forward to see the first voter cast this ballot. You know?
Absolutely.
And you know, one of the things we also need to talk about is the atmosphere here. This is not tense at all, you know, and it shows that look, things are in order, and we want to see that. And the process is matters, and at the end of the day, we want to be able to say we have a very good process and credible election. But when you look at it, we are all looking forward to see the first voter cast its ballot.
Gentlemen, give me a moment. Let me take our viewers up close. Come with me. So I will allow you to see for yourself just how this begins. It will be good for you to have a sense of how this will all start. This is going to be the beginning of the ballot, and the voters are already waiting in queue, and you will see the announcement from the official indicating the beginning of the exercise.
Hi Mafundo, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
I'm doing amazing, man, doing good. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
We're supposed to start at 8 a.m., isn't it?
Yeah, 8:30.
8:30?
8:30, yes.
Oh, that's the time you're waiting for? 8:30?
Yes.
And so everybody is ready?
Yes.
Okay. So what are you...
8:30, we are going to address them.
At 8:30?
Yes, that we are starting.
At 8:30?
Yes.
So it's going to be accreditation, simultaneous accreditation, and voting.
Exactly.
All right. Great. So we will be back at 8:30, since that is the time you want to commence. Thank you very much. So they said they will begin at 8:30, but what exactly we are hoping and waiting for is whether or not these gentlemen and women, old and young, who have been waiting, their patience will not thin out. But again, what it means is that they've been waiting for this day for the last 4 years in this state, and whether or not that patience and that waiting will count, they say they have to wait for till 8:30 before they begin. So let's see what happens. But generally, you see people queuing up. These people have been standing for the last 30 minutes or more. A lot of them have arrived here since, and they're still on the queue. What do you think this means?
Well, the early callers are passionate. They are people who are committed to the process for different reasons. We may not know, but whatever it is good sign that there are people who still, when we talk about dwindling interest in elections and democracy, this is a good pointer to the fact that there are still good chunk of people who are excited, who want to cast their votes, and like I said, for different reasons. But maybe at another forum, we can then begin to investigate
how this meant. Yeah. But then generally, the atmosphere, the waiting, the conduct of the voters here, and you can see a lot of them have been voting here for years. Yeah. And they're back here today. There's a lot of review that has been done to the voter register from the general election to the last CVR, and now they're coming here just as though they're going to a worship center, meeting once again to make a decision that will be very crucial for the progress of the state.
Yes, absolutely. I think you mentioned like some of them have been here for like 30 minutes. In fact, some people have been here for like 45 minutes, and they have been on this queue. Now, if you look at it again, the sun is actually coming out now, and they are still on the queue. You can't see that they are looking as if they are getting fed up about the whole thing. You see the enthusiasm, and that is one thing that is encouraging. Now, it means a lot to them. It means a lot to them for different reasons, like he rightly pointed out. But the most important thing is that, look, these people are aware that they are going to cast their votes at 8:30. But for them to also still be here at this time, knowing fully well that they still have the laxity between now till 2 o'clock to actually come and vote, it also shows what we are seeing in terms of encouragement of the voters actually coming out. But if you ask me, one of the things that also make this possible is this relaxed atmosphere that we can actually feel here. You know, there are some elections you go, you can actually be touching the tension in the air and say, look, what exactly is going on here? And but what we have seen, everything is still going on peacefully, and then people are moving, and In fact, the people you are seeing on the queue, if you still look at the multitude here, checking their name is actually encouraging. And this is just one side. Look at the queue on the other side too. It's very, very encouraging that people can turn out this early. And then we still expect them to keep coming, of course, in trinkles till 2 o'clock. You know, the last voter going to vote at 2 o'clock. So these are some of the things that we see that early pointer to maybe a good election.
As far as this polling unit is concerned, if all goes exactly as it's looking right now, because I've seen situations where election will start on a very good note at a polling unit. At 11 a.m., things go awry, and you just wonder, it started, everything was looking good, but what really is going on?
Well, the unpredictability of the process is part of why we are watching. Otherwise, we won't be here watching, you won't see security. It is because the nature of human beings changes. But what is exciting to me is to see people living with disability, somebody on wheelchair, also waiting. An aged man, they provided a seat for him where you went to earlier. That gives you some good feeling, you know, that it's inclusive, and there's a way in which we are taking care of everyone, you know, who is involved in this process. But as to things changing, I can almost say with some level of certainty that it's going to continue the way it's going. Because the morning will give you a signal of how the day will go, as we say in our own climate. Yeah. So, and the morning is looking good. I just hope that is what it is in Ileje-Meje, that's what it is in, you know, in Emure and all the Ikere and all of those places. But very soon we'll find out. Because
we've been talking about the hotspot. Yeah. These places are hotspot. They are not tagged hotspot for nothing. They're tagged hotspot because of the kind of activities and the incident that could erupt from those places. And we've identified places like Moba. We've identified places like Ikole as hotspot. But you did the mapping about how sensitive these areas will be in terms of voter awareness, voter activities, voter engagement. What exactly do you predict for these places?
So basically, our prediction around the hotspot area in those places, most especially Moba, Ikole, and those Oye axis, is that look, in terms of, there are about 2 predictions there in terms of violence, criminal activity violence, and then the other one is in terms of operational lapses due to insecurity too. However, the reason for this prediction and the reason for coming up with hotspot is that if you allow me to call it a prophecy, that should not happen. So because the idea is they should do something about it. In terms of deployment, deploy more in this area, gather intelligence in this area, need this thing at the board before they start. And that is the whole essence. So this money now is for us to assess that, look, these places have been identified as hotspots. Now, what have you done? What is going on there now? To avert most of those things? Now, it means that if anything still go ahead to happen in that particular place, it means that we did nothing with the early warning. And that is not what we want. Every election, for different reasons, people have different interests. And every election, you will always have 1 or 2 places you call hotspot. For instance, no matter how a candidate is popular and you think is going to, you can predict that, oh, this election is going one way and one slide. But there are also locations that traditionally for years, they always vote in a particular pattern. And then, is there anything going to change that particular pattern in the election? They don't mind losing, but they still vote in a particular pattern. That become an hotspot. So what it means is that you have to look at most of those places, provide adequate security, so that whenever you say, oh, this place is hotspot, the good thing is that that doesn't happen. And I am happy that even some of the hotspots on the program yesterday, colleague Samson was brought out. We came out with the similar thing, and then the commissioner in charge of this election, Shogule, also came out with the same thing. Then when we have 3 three different institutions talking about same place, and things still go ahead in that same place, then what are the security agencies doing about that? It shows they did nothing. But we are happy, we are watching, and that, like he said, which is absolutely spot on, that is why we are here, because things can go wrong anytime, and that is why we are watching, not only watching, to also escalate and say, hey, we notice something is going wrong here, we need to move in, you need to move in and do something about it. And that is the beauty of observation, that is the beauty of election, and I think we need to look at that, closely in this election.
There's a lot of historical history that comes from Ekiti State. You will have heard about Fabumi of Okemesi. You will have heard about Ewi. You would have heard about Ugidegbe Agbogunboro. In fact, historically, we understand that Wole Soyinka's got paternal roots in what we now know as Ekiti State. We know about the Adekunle Fajuyi. We know about Baba Afe Babalola. We know Kayode Fayemi. We know the likes of Niyi Oshundare, Hakim Magunge, Babs Fafunwa. These are people, these are the people that have been produced by this place presently called Ekiti State. Historically and politically speaking, they stood for something in the First, Second Republic, and even before independence. They are very brave people, they are courageous people, they are very educated. On almost household you go now, you find a professor in Ekiti. Well, do you think this means something for the people of Ekiti State in the manner in which they vote, in the manner in which they relate to political and electoral activities?
Well, he's known to be an enlightened, civilized environment because of the number, like you say, it's called the land of professors, but that doesn't come into, elections. Election has its own dynamics, completely new dynamics. I know you are bringing your theater arts background to the whole thing in terms of, but beyond all of that, you would see that what then happens with elections is that it is a play of interest. And interest has no reckoning for whether you are a professor. At the end of the day, it's about power. It's about what that power is going to be used for. And the ordinary people, who outnumber the professors, have a stake also. They have deep interest in what's going on in Ekiti State.
The queue is getting
bigger and bigger.
But what we're seeing now is that it does look like there's a different queue for women and a different queue for men.
For yes, absolutely. I think they changed that. That was why you had that uproar at some point there. But getting back to what Bukola was saying, you would find out that in elections, seriously speaking, everywhere is a hotspot.
Yeah.
Because it's a shifting process. You can think that Ado will be peaceful, and then you find out that the place that you think will be peaceful is actually where. So there needs to be much more alertness generally, state of alertness, professionalism among the security agencies. Because sometimes also, if you look at the places where we have attached, this the prediction. I don't want to call it prophecy. The prediction that you gave, you find out that there are places with huge voting strength, and so sometimes when you put that tag on it, you are also creating a siege mentality that will make the people to say, since they have said this place is going to be violent, and politicians like that, they enjoy it. So we need to be a bit nuanced also in how we create that so that it does not advantage, people who don't want people to come out and cast their vote. And I think that is important to point out.
But I also want to say something about the EKITI, in terms of their, in terms of the elite. We need to now ask, and I agree with him, just to reinforce that point, that look, the nobleness of the noble, does that translate into the election? Because election is a totally different terrain. And my concern, because let me speak to data now, in the last 3 elections, 2014, governorship election, 2018, and 2022, now Ado-Ekiti sustained and maintained a higher number of registered voters. But in the time of after the election, when you look at the data in terms of actual turnout, Ilejemeje turnout is more than Ado-Ekiti. So does that tell us that, look, the elites have considered this election to another set of people? Do they participate? And why you have a lot of educated people, professors here, now are they participating? It's another conversation we need to look at.
They're analyzing.
Yeah, they will to look
at. I won't stop talking about the prominent people that have come out of this state. The Wole Olanipekuns of this world, the Justice Ayo Salamis of this world, the Shadia Adus of this world, the globally acclaimed, the Akim Olajuwon of this world. I mean, these are prominent people, and when we're standing on this soil, we remember the effort people who are prominent have made in making a name from them.
Why don't you want to call Oshoku?
Ryan.
Yes, it's the land of fire. Yes, they can't fire. So why you not?
Yes, I mean, these have been former leaders, yes. They're known for one thing or the other, and it means something. They are followers, and anywhere you go around the world, you will find a footprint of an EKITI person. Is always there. They've made their mark, not only in education, but in several aspects of life. But if you look at what is going on...
But do you know that it's remained agrarian?
Yeah, very, very agrarian.
It's still, in terms of in spite of the number of professors that you see, in terms of all, largely speaking, is still very agrarian. The land of Ikogosi. This is
Ikogosi,
and the Gosis and all the rest of them. So the point for election is, like Bukola just said, it has nothing to do with... In fact, the more enlightened people are, the less they participate. They'll be holding their phones, watching Shehu Kimbalo and talking and saying what he didn't say right. And then the people are on the queue. You can see them. Yeah. If you take a scan here now, you are not going to find the professors on this queue. They are going to stroll in at about 11, hoping that everywhere is clear for them. They don't. But these people are passionate, and they need to be rewarded. The people have to reward the sacrifice, the commitment of this mass of people who always make this democracy.
They are the real pillars of our democratic structure. They are the real pillars of our democracy.
If you ask me, the best way to reward these people is to make their votes count.
Yeah.
And that is just the best reward they could have.
Absolutely.
Much more than making their vote count.
Governance.
It is about governance. Because election is a process.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an end in itself. We are doing this so that we can elect people who can reward them with good roads, better hospitals, better schools, healthcare. Those are the things. Provide agricultural inputs for them. If after all of this sacrifice, all of that doesn't happen, then the whole commitment to this process pales into insignificance.
By the way, let's say that the official time actually is 8:30 a.m. for the commencement of voting. But we've been seeing some interesting pictures coming from the queue. But there are other places where you did not see. And there are a lot of activities. There are bystanders. There are people who are going to make money from here. Let me perhaps show our viewers some of those people. If Theophilus can come with me. Let me show our viewers the other part of these. There is a young man who is selling soft drink, and for those who want to. And these are the people that you may not notice, but they are also here. They are part of the process, not exactly the official process. But the young man has come out early in the morning to ply his trade and make some cash for himself. Yeah, there are people who need cold drinks and cold water, and you can see the elderly people who are queuing up. This is another polling unit, different from the one right on this other side. And I told you earlier about those who are checking for their names. right on the register, because this is very key. You've got to be able to check your name, identify what your number is on the register. Once you identify what your number is on the register, it allows you to know whether or not you are able or permitted to vote in this polling unit. This is a polling unit 002 in the Olusosun area in the St. Michael's Primary School. And you can see just the road across, police officials, you can see DSS police officers and elderly and some of those who are waiting for their turn. And if you see on my right, that's another polling unit, and see all is set in that part of the area. You can see some people who are also selling some snacks over there. But yeah, a lot of activities happen around the polling area because there is not just one thing about voting. It is a process. It is a system that works one way or the other, that when people come into the polling unit, they will be able to exercise their franchise. But in all, one thing that is very critical, INEC is at the center of all of this. But in the end, in the final analysis, the people who have been waiting, the people who left their homes early in the morning, had a shower, and they say they must make their votes count. And we're waiting for the moment where this is happening. And look at the man, this woman, she's very resolute. She's got, despite whatever she's gone through, she's here and wanted to make sure that her votes count. And so you can see, and the elderly are on the queue. There are always a priority given to the elderly. They are here very early, and it does look like we have multiple queues now for them. So they're here, the young and the old and the mid-aged, they're here and they're ready to cast their ballot. We're waiting for the next few minutes, and you see this, the elderly man. How are you, sir? Are you all right, sir?
I'm all right.
You're waiting for your turn?
Yeah.
All right. And you have been accorded the respect of getting a seat?
I'm looking for a person who will help me take my name out here.
Oh, so they're checking your name on the register for you?
Register.
All right.
I'm looking for it.
You've been voting here for some time, for many years?
I've been voting here for the past 10 years.
About 10 years? Oh, wow. You live around this area?
And I'm 86 years of age.
Oh, wow.
86 years of age.
You are 86? 86. Congratulations, sir. You look good for 86. What is the name, sir?
Ali Sunny Sunday.
Wow. Ali Sunny Sunday. And you're from EKITI State too, sir?
I'm from this EKITI.
Wow, wow, wow. Congratulations. You look good for 86.
Well,
fantastic.
That's great me.
Wow.
I'm grateful.
That's good. That's good. So you have your voter card ready to cast your ballot. Congratulations. And so we're waiting for the minutes where this process will begin. I just want you to be up close and right in the front row seat for you to know when this will start. And I know that the officials are prepping. The beavers is ready, right? And prepped. Will it go live at 8:30? By 8:30. So, but it won't work until 8:30.
Until 8:30.
8:30.
Yeah.
But it's ready. It's online.
Beaver is online.
Thank you very much. So we will be back in another few minutes to just check whether or not this all will begin at a set time. But this is an interesting process, and this is what you get on watching Channels Television in this process, because we'll try as much as possible to get you close to the people. And you can see I just met an 86-year-old man, Ali Sunday, who has been waiting. He said it's been the last 10 years he's been voting in this particular place. He's sitting there and resolute. You will see people living with disability, elderly, the young, mid-age, all of them are really, really prepped to cast their ballot. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's the part that is exciting. But the worrying, the concerning part is what we do with all this energy, this effort. And I think that it behoves on beneficiaries of all of these efforts to begin to think more deeply in terms of how to ensure that this doesn't go to nothing. If this democracy is going to be sustained, one of the ways to do that is to place a lot of emphasis on this commitment, on this sacrifice, and the things that we see people do to ensure that this democracy is sustained.
Bugala, I mean, I'm so fascinated with some of the side of some of the things I saw there. It's for me, the different kind of people that I have seen who are there, the different ranges, the classes of society of people that are here. It means quite a lot for our democracy.
Yes, it means quite a lot because when you look at that, you see person with disability on wheelchair there, and also giving that priority to be there. Then the first, when you look at the first queue, is for the aged people. You know, they just giving that particular queue, and when you look, it's not about the creating a queue for them that really encouraged me, but the number. When you look at the number of those 8 people on the queue, is also very interesting. So I think I'm happy with what I am seeing. My only prayer and expectation is that this same thing is replicated across the 16 local governments, across the 2,445 polling units. You know, that will have been very, very massive. But with what we are seeing here, if we want to take this as a sample, then we are off on a good start.
Yeah, Ezewa, what are the new things that we are supposed to be expecting? The electoral law has been amendment 2026. We have some changes to the law. Are we to expect any new thing? What are your expectations in terms of the changes made to the electoral law?
Well, where that would really come to fall will be in the area of result management. In terms of accreditation, voting, and the pattern is still the same. We are going to see whether we are going to see the real-timeness in quotes of results, uploads, and the rest of them, and what communication internet will do to all of that. But beyond that, the process is still what it is. Broadly speaking, manual. But until and when we are able to see what we do with electoral offenders, because those are the new initiatives. The jail term has been increased. The penalties have been increased. Broadly speaking, now you can go for as much as 2 years. You are going to likely even pay up to 5 million naira if you are caught, trying to pervert this process in any way. If you are caught inducing voters, or you yourself are induced and you are caught, those are some of the things. But like you said, this is not an election in which we are seeing EFCC in what do they call it, moving all around the place. There seems not to be that energy for that. But in terms of the new law, we are going to see what result management looks like with the new infusions inside the law.
It's going to be interesting how all these comes to play, because a lot of expectations are on INEC. But it's not only INEC, it's the entire gamut of the process, because INEC will be expected to do his own part. But like I asked Ezewa, Mr. The new changes, do you think it's going to be fundamental in what we see, the outcome and the conduct of the exercise generally?
Well, I would put that in 2 major perspectives. In terms of the process, I don't think we are going to see any significant change in terms of the process. The process still look the same, though what will have changed the entire process, fortunately, it's not going to happen in this election, and that is the aspect of downloadable PVC to be used, but that is not going to be used in this election, according to INEC. So what it means is that, because that will have been a game changer, that will have mean that we need to see how people that doesn't have their permanent voters card can go online, download, and then come and use it to vote. But that is not going to happen. So we still have the entire process. However, the impact, again, in terms of process, but let's look at the impact. The major change, are things that is going to happen after, the election, or after the results is being counted. So that is number one, electoral offenses. That's one. If you are caught, the jail time has been increased and all those stuff. Most especially, we are interested in seeing how the election results.
Apologies to Baudin.
We are all excited to see.
It's 8:30 right now. Let's see how the polls open. This is the very minute we've been waiting for, Ezenwa. Interesting. They've been waiting for 4 years, all their lives, waiting for this moment when the poll will begin. But let's see how these all pans out. This is a moment the people of EKITI State have been waiting for. And let's see how this will start. It's 8:30, and officially the polls should commence. Let's see how the very first few people that will be attended to. It's breaking news right here on Channel Television. EKITI governorship election officially opens. Voting officially opens right here at polling unit 001 at the St. Michael's Primary School. And this is polling unit 001. And the registration area is Ado D. Ijibo of Ado EKITI local government area, and the local government area code is 01. This is particularly typical of what you might be seeing across the state. These are the early videos and images you will see of how the exercise is beginning. Officially, the poll is opening. Breaking news. EKITI governorship election voting is commencing right here in the state. The opportunity for the people of the state to elect who becomes the next governor for the next 4 years. And the voters are queuing up, waiting for the opportunity to be able to cast their ballot. And we are hoping to see who becomes the very first voter that will be casting his or her ballot right here at these polling units. These are your early images signifying that this exercise has effectively begun. Officials are now going through the process. The Beavers machine is being used to conduct the accreditation, and you have your PVC to be read on the Beavers machine. That is a process of accreditation to identify whether or not the voter is fit to vote in this polling unit, and whether or not the mode of identification, which is a permanent voter card, which is the officially acceptable mode of identification for voting in Nigeria, is being used. And once that is done, you can see the process of doing that.
Struggling to build your...
So we want to see how this works, at least give you an idea of the very first few voters who are going through this process. Just gives you what might be going on across the state in the 16 local government areas of EKITI State. Officially, the exercise has started. Okay, sorry, is there a delay?
Shortly.
What do you think is delaying?
I think it has not been activated by INEC itself, so that's why the thing is not working.
So is it online or offline?
Offline. Yes. Offline.
So it's not activated yet. So we are hoping that that could be done, and it's affected the other beavers too. The same thing on that on your own device. You are experiencing that same.
Yes. You cannot be allowed to continue because you are not within the time frame for the selected active election.
Can you show us what is saying? What does the device say? It's saying, attention, you cannot be allowed to continue because you are not within the time frame for the selected active election. The time set is between 8:30 a.m. Saturday, 20 June, and 10 p.m. Saturday, 20 June 2020. Please contact your RA technician if this is not supposed to happen. Are you able to identify the RA? I think you need to contact the person. He's not allowing it to start, sir. You are the coordinator, isn't it?
No, I'm the supervisor.
You are the supervisor here. But because it's past 8:30 already, and the device is not aligned there, and it seems to be all of the devices here.
Okay.
But he's saying that they need to contact the RA technician. Where is the person?
Okay, I will check with them. Okay, let me check.
Please, the people are waiting. It's past the time. It's 5 minutes after the official time for this exercise to begin. They seem to be experiencing some technical problems in and it seems to be all of the 3 devices that we're seeing here displaying that error message. And so we will stay with the process because that is the reason why we are here, to ensure that the people are in the front seat in the decision-making process of the electoral system in our country today. And so I understand now that they're making calls to the RA technician who is supposed to come and resolve whatever the issue may be. Because yes, the people are waiting and hoping that this exercise will commence in earnest. And the supervisor seems to be... Are you able to identify the technician, sir?
No, there's no problem. The technical support will be here now.
Okay, they will be here. All right. I think it's okay for you to announce to the people that the problem you are experiencing, so that they know. They don't think there is hanky-panky. Don't you think so? It's interesting. These are the sort of things that you will see right here. Technical issue, the people are waiting, the anxiety is in the air, and let's hear. 15
minutes for the machine to come up. 10 to 15 minutes. Within 10 to 15 minutes, everything will return to normal.
Can you please tell them what the problem is so that they know?
Yes. The beavers, yes. No. The beavers is mandatory.
Okay.
It is the beavers we must use. Without the beavers, no election. Yes.
Does not be once it's activated, it can't work.
No, the official time is 8:30, but it's about a few minutes after. So I've called the router, that's the technical support. They said we should wait for additional 10 to 15 minutes. So be calm.
No problem. All right. Well, that's the information as far as we know and we have right now. There's going to be a lot of anxiety. 10, 15 minutes, that's the time they are being given for them to begin. But it's going to be, it might be a long wait, but it might be worth the process, Mr. Ido. They're having some technical glitch. The devices are not yet activated by INEC, and so it needs the technician to be able to activate it. I mean, these are the early technical problems that they're experiencing.
I don't think that is good enough because this could also be very discouraging. But at the same time, it doesn't call. This is not something that we should also be worried about. INEC has told us that they also have over 700 backup beavers. That is number one. Number two is that they also have the RATTEC, the people they can call, the technician to come and fix this. So what we expect to see is that they activate that SOS now and say, look, this is not working. You need to come and look at it. And it's either they send another person or tell them what to do. And if this can be activated remotely, they need to do that now because you see the number of people on the queue.
The devices are not working. It has not been unlocked by INEC, and so they've asked people to wait while the technician works on it.
I recently just discovered Yield.